I'm not sure what we got going on here. If we have like a defunct thermostat, you can see we're blinking just the regular regular call, but they said that it's heating randomly when they don't expect it to be heating. So if we check from W just to the ground here, you can see we don't have any voltage right now. R to ground, we do have our 27 volts, which is good. G to ground, we've also got a call, which is weird because I don't think the thermostat is supposed to be calling for a fan right now, but it is. But when we check from W to R, I'll give it a minute here, but it's randomly bringing on the heat right there. See that? So we're bringing on the heat, but upstairs at the thermostat, it does not say it's trying to run the heat. Right now it's just in the off mode. So we're gonna disconnect the W wire here and see if we're still getting that heat call randomly. So it's definitely a problem coming from the thermostat. The furnace seems to be behaving properly, but we're getting a call on this white wire, and we should not be getting a call on the white wire. Unfortunately, the way this is set up, they've just got a red and a white for G and C, and a red and a white for R and W. So we'll have to go up into the thermostat and see how it's actually wired. Following the low voltage up here, you can see we have my least favorite type of low voltage situation. Going out to the heat pump outside, and then this mess of wires, and we've got this little thing. So we've got some funky stuff going on with the low voltage for sure. So yeah, when your low voltage wiring situation looks like this, and you've got a heat pump, that's typically when you have weird low voltage problems. Like, it seems like there's just a bunch of abandoned stuff that's randomly hooked in. This does nothing. This seemingly does nothing, but it's tied into the green here. I don't know, I'm gonna have to try to get rid of some of the stuff that's not doing anything so I can even make sense of what's going on here. So here's what is happening. So from the thermostat, we've got a G and a common, and this is sent to the furnace, the G and the common. And then the common is tied together for the heat pump wire, which is this one here that goes out to the heat pump. So all those commons are tied together. The R is also tied together. So this is the R from the furnace right here. It goes to the thermostat right here, and it goes to the heat pump right here. And then the W calls are all tied together. So furnace gets it, heat pump gets it, and then the heat pump decides if it wants to run or not. And the Y call is not sent to the furnace at all. It's just sent from the thermostat straight out to the air conditioner, which means the G call here is always having to be energized when it brings on the air conditioning, otherwise it won't cool properly. I'm not sure why this wire, it's from the heat pump and being sent to the thermostat. This must be the reversing valve, I'm guessing, because they're only using the red. I think there is a red wire hooked up out there, so that must go to the reversing valve for when it's running in heat pump mode. There's just this random abandoned white wire, and that random abandoned brown wire, and this random abandoned brown wire. So just kind of messy, but I think that this is hooked up properly, so it might be a thermostat issue. Alright, so I have the thermostat here with me, and you can see it is not the thermostat that is sending the heat call. So somehow we have a heat call coming on this W wire when we shouldn't have one. So let's see what else is energized. So I just disconnected the heat pump from the thermostat from the furnace, and I'm still getting voltage on this W wire as far as I can tell. Yeah. So I'm getting 28 volts. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm getting 28 volts here. And this piece of wire literally just goes from here down into the furnace right here. so it must be shorted in that piece of wiring. So we just need to replace this piece of wiring or find the short in it, and we should be good. So we should be able to take the R wire off and check for a dead short across there, and it should have a dead short. So there's the R and the W disconnected completely, and we'll check across, and we are getting like 16 ohms, it looks like. We should be getting 0 across there. So there's a bad spot in this piece of wire. Look at this. That's probably it. It looks like it heated and got kind of brittle. So it's just a piece of bad wiring. Like, it's fine up here, but all through here it's like cracked, heated. Oh, right there, look at that. That's it. That is definitely the problem. So we just need a new piece of wire from here to there, and then we should be able to put this all back together and be good to go. I removed this other section here too, because look at this. It's like this stuff got heated really hot. So it's really brittle. The insulation's coming off. See that? Very strange. So we are gonna just run some new thermostat wire from here up to where those other old wires terminate, because they're just not super trustworthy. It'll also be nice because the furnace will have a yellow wire, which will alert it to bring the fan on in high speed. And then if they ever put in a thermostat with a that doesn't bring on the G at the same time as the fan, it won't be a problem. There we go. Nothing's tugging out, so should be good there. So now we have this new wire all hooked up, and I just gotta make this look kind of tidy here. So I got it tidied up as much as necessary. Looks alright. So anyway, systems like that have low voltage issues where they're intermittently doing something odd, like bringing on the fan or bringing on heat or bringing on air conditioning when they're not supposed to, can be very difficult to troubleshoot and very difficult to track down exactly what's going on. I was actually to this place about 5 months ago and worked on his thermostat because he had installed his own new thermostat. He said the system was being kind of funny. He thought it was a thermostat. He put in a new thermostat, but then whenever he would try to bring on the heat, because it was kind of in the fall, it would bring on the air conditioning, and when you would try to bring on the air conditioning, it would bring on the heat. So he had something set improperly. Basically, there's a reversing valve in the outdoor unit when you have a heat pump, and it either needs to be energized during a heat call or it needs to be energized during a cool call, and he just had that setting wrong in his thermostat. So I was able to go through the menu with him and get that figured out, switch it to how it was supposed to be, and make sure the system was operating as it should. So time went by to today, where they said it's randomly heating to 85 degrees. We don't know why, and I had to go and actually look at that, figure out why it was heating so warm when it wasn't supposed to be heating warm. And I called the gentleman and talked to him on the phone, and he was a little bit grumpy because he felt like I should have found that issue previously, but it's worked for this much time and we never found that issue previously. And the issue previously wasn't that the heat was running continuous, so I don't know how he expected me to just automatically troubleshoot his whole low voltage system. And I was like, well, you know, the system is old, it's the original wiring. This is something that can happen. It's not very common, but it's something that does happen. So I'll replace that section of wire, but I can't guarantee your whole system. And he was kind of like, well, you guys put that furnace in 4 or 5 years ago, and I had you do it, and you should have checked that when you put in the furnace, which I don't know, I wasn't there when the furnace was installed, but obviously if we see something that's a problem, we're gonna fix it and not just leave it there. And we must not have seen that the wiring was brittle, or 4 or 5 years ago. That ends up being kind of a while. So the wire developed the issue later. Because if it was still having that random issue, I'm pretty sure he would have called like a week after I was there instead of this much down the road. So it's fine, but it's interesting how people process stuff sometimes. The gentleman himself actually does like equipment repair, and I kind of said, well, being familiar with troubleshooting, sometimes if you replace a part and then down the road you have another issue that's related to like a wiring harness, it's not related to the part that you put in that's new, and it's just something that you have to track down. I said intermittent issues are the most difficult to troubleshoot because you can only troubleshoot them when they're having the issue. So anyway, I don't think he was mad, especially after I kind of explained it that way. But he just requested that I kind of look over the whole wiring, and so I did. I don't see any other problems, but we'll see. He might blame me in 2 years if it has another low voltage